Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican, ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always saying, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumping where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You can double, you can press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever.
Just having Loon in that lineup, how much did that help? Just the defensive rebounding and every kind of give you everything you were looking for on that side.
It just has a knack to rebound, the physicality, awareness of where that ball is coming off, just a luxury to have someone that does this naturally. That's who he is. So it helped us on the board. On the board, I thought we were really, we were mature out there. We were physical. We were big. We were aggressive. Big minutes by him.
Just kind of looking back at the last month as a whole, what did you think that you guys think the biggest jump, just kind of like the month of December?
The month of December, well, I think both sides of the ball, we took jumps, obviously, moving the needle defensively, transition defense, taking care of the paint. Obviously, we've had our, the stretch of wins, we were much better. And then, we hit a little lull there, but I think we moved the needle defensively, more physicality. I'd say more of a mentality of a physical, aggressive team, a competitive team. Offensively, we've moved this thing significantly as far as pace and moving the ball and sharing it and playing in the full court, dominating the paint, winning the paint, keeping our turnovers down. Those are good things as well. And then the fourth quarter, we've had highs and lows. We're a work in progress, closing out games, fourth quarter time. We've had some success and we've had some misery too. But I think it's the misery that helps you grow and get better. There's no magic play here to get us home. But, as I step back and look at the end of the game, I think we got to be better defensively too, bottom line. And we own that from last game. But I'm proud of the group, how they've grown throughout the month. There's clarity in who we're trying to become and who we are becoming. There's some clarity there. We just got to keep taking steps forward every day.
James, we heard the other day from Derek Queen about the message from Joe Dumars about ending less than 10 rounds. You got something as a client. It almost seems unfair to ask for more from him because of what he's shown so far. How distinctive is his skill set for a guy his size? And has he in any way sort of surprised you and your staff by what he's able to accomplish?
Well, rebounding is one of those things that's pretty transferable from the college game to the NBA game. I think that's something that we saw and they saw out of college that they thought would translate. I think that's been there, So I think we should ask for more. Why not? 10, why not ask for 12? Let's see where he takes it, I think challenging him on the board is always a good thing, but he has a knack to do that. I think the biggest thing is what he's done with the ball in his hands, like in the full court. His ability, our points per possession, when he has the ball off a rebound in transition has been pretty significant. I didn't see that coming. Like him leading the break, being this playmaker in transition, and off the board. The hub he has been for us this early has been significant in the half court too, just playing through him. I thought we would try it a little bit, but to play through him a full half, a full quarter, to close out a game against the Spurs I didn't see that coming this early in his career. So just the poise he has shown, and really poise under pressure too. He's had some real pressure moments out there, and he's delivered, and not perfect, but he's delivered a lot of times. And I love the courage he plays with, that he's willing. At times it drives me a little nuts because he's a little bit too courageous and risky, but the courage to go try to make a play and to believe in himself. And that's not easy for a young guy. So a lot of bright spots there. And then the rim protection too. That's, if you're going to be the starting five, in today's NBA, you got to bring a little bit of rim protection. And we've seen some growth in that area as well.
You mentioned pressure, and even before he showed up, there was pressure on him because of the trade on draft night. And other than number one picks and maybe Bronny James, I can't think of a guy who's walked in with more pressure. He had nothing to do with the trade, and yet he was going to be measured by, I guess, whatever that pick in the year becomes. Have you had any discussions with him about not letting that get to him? Have you seen it get to him, or is he fine with sort of?
I have not.
Received it in a certain way.
To his credit, he has. But it shows me that he's not playing with that pressure. He's kind of staying to the integrity of who he is, the character of who he is. And I think that's what he's showing us. He's competing every night. I don't get a sense anytime when he's on the floor, he's just playing with pressure on his shoulders. There's a joy and a freedom he plays with. And I think that's what makes him special, is that he's willing to take those risks and, be okay with it and live with it. I don't think there's a pressure to perform to a certain pick in the draft. He's just playing the game as he sees it. And I think that's integrity, that's character. And I think he's done great in that area. So I agree with you, though. I mean, there was definitely, from the outside noise, there was a little bit of finger pointing at him, right? And to me, he's handled it extremely maturely.
Last one for me, just because I write the rookie rankings for our site. And I talked with Jeremiah earlier, and I know you wanted to lean on his speed, to sort of push the pace, and just in terms of his overall point guard game. How much is that developing? Are there certain areas that he's working on, and you have him working on, in terms of making the other guys?
Sure, he has something that you can't teach, which is speed and the ability to get downhill. That's elite right now. You could put him in a category with the top 10 guards that do this right now. He doesn't need a pick and roll. He can get at will to the paint when he wants. Then it's about decision making, right? I get down there, now what? And I think at times throughout, for young guys, most of their career, they've been able to go finish in that area against maybe a smaller, less athletic player. In the NBA, it's a different animal, So just having that discernment and poise and decision making to make the right play at the rim when he gets down there. And that's where we're growing with him. Tonight he's going to make some great plays, and hopefully we start to eliminate some of those, the ones that can go the other direction. But that comes with time. But he's very aware of it. He's an unselfish player. He makes our pace go. He starts our pace. And then now it's about decision making when he gets down there. And he's got a group of talent. There's a talent base around him, so you got to manage. There's a responsibility that comes with that as a point guard. And I've been fortunate to be around some of these point guards that have had that talent, right? You look at Tony Parker, he was a natural scorer when we got him. Speed, pace, and I share this with Jeremiah a lot, is Tony was a scorer at his core, great pace, high level paint player. He had to learn how to manage the Duncans, the Ginobilis, the Finleys. That was part of his game. And Pop, it took a minute for Pop to get that across to him when that's your nature. But more than anything, Jeremiah is willing to learn. He's a sponge. He's curious. If you have that type of character mentality, he will get there, and I think that's where we're headed.
All right, for all things Pelicans, now tune into the Pelican Postgame Report. Much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in the live. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and by all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. First and foremost, Happy New Year's, man. Happy New Year's to all the family members out there. Sorry we couldn't come at you guys on New Year's Eve. Obviously, we had other commitments, but big ups to the fam, and we also respect and thank you guys for your contributions to the stream as well. But much love to the fam, man. We up in this thing. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man, for all things Pelicans. So this game, another interesting game, man, by the Pelicans. They lose 5 straight. That's the big thing. Losing 5 straight games, man, it don't feel good. It kind of undermines a little bit the 5-game winning streak we have. To win 5 straight and then to lose 5 straight really undermines the team a little bit. It kind of undermines the progress that we made, and really you can't do any more of this complex and ridiculous, frivolent losing, especially in streaks of more than 1 or 2 games, because it's a hell of a hole the Pelicans still have to climb out in this game. So they hung close in the game, right, until the fourth quarter. Coach Borrego talked exclusively about the fourth quarter and what the Pelicans needed to do to take the game home. And as you can see, if you look at the statistics and you watch the game, the Pelicans, for stat-wise, it really doesn't show you why the Pelicans, from a team stat perspective. Now, if you watch the game, you understand the Chicago Bulls wanted it more. The Bulls were missing 2 of their top scorers, Giddey and Kobe White. Those guys are missing, right? Missing. Doesn't matter. The Chicago Bulls wanted to win this game. They were tired of the Pelicans' domination over them. Over the last several games, the Pelicans have been taking care of business against the Bulls, which is what our thought process is. Okay, we need a win. We got a team that we thoroughly beat. Maybe we overlooked this team. I'm not certain. But they were more, based on my opinion of what I've seen the game, my breakdown is that the Chicago Bulls wanted this game more than the New Orleans Pelicans did. That's the bottom line, especially in the fourth quarter when they took it and they scored 37 points and held the Pelicans to 28 points in the game. A lot of the Bulls players were in double digits. A lot of, not just all of the starters, but they had a couple of guys off the bench that also were in double digits. So they played more as a team, as a collective, that ultimately they wanted to turn this thing out. They knew they were down 2 of their best players. Didn't matter. They handled the business and got the W. And that's what teams do when you're down in the dumps. Now the Bulls are 16-17, and we're going to have to turn this thing around against the Trailblazers coming up on Friday. But it does not feel good to lose 5 games in a row, win 5 and lose 5. It just undermines what we got going on. But still, there's a lot of games remaining. A lot of things can happen. And it's just getting really redundant to hear whether it's the previous guy or the head coach come to the podium and talk about the same things over and over again to these players. These players are not intellectually challenged. These people are very intelligent players. But for whatever reason, it's not sticking. It's not sticking to have an all-out effort, full game, right? That's what you need to do with these teams. So it is what it is, man. Here, let's hit some of these stats, man, so we get through these stats right here. Y'all hit the like button, man, as we get going in this thing, PPR representing. You can see the stats right here. The Chicago Bears, Bulls, sorry, are, they shot a good percentage from the field. They hit a few more field goals more than the Pelicans, 47-92, 51%. The Pelicans, 42 of 98 for 43. Pelicans were 12 of 38 from downtown for 32%. The Bulls hit 3 more three-pointers, 15 to 43 for 35%. The Pelicans still hitting a high degree of their free throw percent, shots. They had 81% free throw shooting on 22 of 27. That is a positive stat to really look at. The Bulls had 34 attempts, hit 25 for 74%. Pelicans, 46 rebounds versus the Bulls, 49. 12 offensive boards by the Pelicans. The assists were around 25 a game versus 33 by the Bulls. You can see the steal game, Pelicans 4 versus 5 by the Bulls. They did outblock the Bulls 9-7, and they had 10 turnovers only. The Bulls just beat them by 1. They had 9 with 11 points given up. Pelicans had 10 turnovers, gave up 20 points on those turnovers. You can see that when you turn a team over, you got to make them pay, right? You got to make them pay. The Bulls had 9 and just, 9 turnovers and collected, gave up 11 points off those turnovers. When you turn them over, you got to convert those into points. And we, even though we had 1 more, we gave up 9 points more on the turnovers, right, than they did. So when we turn you over, we got to do something with the ball. We got to penalize. We got to make you pay. So you look at the fast break game, 25-15 advantage Bulls and 60-56 advantage Bulls there as well. And like I said, largely the Bull had at one time with 17 points. Pels had it at one time at 2. So 134-118. Just like I said, man, we just got to do a better job of playing full games. We've played so many games up to this point. The Pelicans family have played 35 games so far. 35 games. 35 games. That's more than enough games to be able to figure out what you need to do. More than enough time to be able to turn around and get things correct. It's more than enough time, man, to make things happen. And it's just not gelling and meshing. But you can't put it on Zion. He had 31 points in 29 minutes from Zion Williamson, 12 of 19 from the field. He was 7 of 9 from the free throw line. He continues his maturation shooting free throws, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. He had 1 turnover in 29 minutes. So Zion Williamson was the bell cow leading the Pelicans up against the Bulls. Trey Murphy, with 34 minutes, didn't meet his average. He only had 15 points, 6 of 15 from the field. He was 3 of 11 from downtown, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He had 4 turnovers, didn't help us. 1 block there. Derek Queen, in his 25 minutes, 9 points, 4 of 7, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 5 blocks for our DQ. He was in there trying to help out right there. Sadiq Bey, 34 minutes, 16 points for Sadiq Bey. He met his average. Then some. Remember, he averaging like 14 points a game. He had 16 last night, 6 of 16 from the field, 2 of 7 from downtown. He's perfect from the foul line, 4 rebounds, 3 assists for Sadiq Bey. And, of course, Jeremiah Fears, going back to Chi-Town, back home, 23 minutes, struggled in this game. 2 of 8 from the field, 1 of 2 from downtown. He only had 5 points, 4 assists, and he had a couple of turnovers right there. So you can see Jay Fears kind of teetering off the last few games. The young rookie kind of going through some struggles right now. But ultimately, you know, with Jose Alvarado all these last couple of games, you wanted to see him kind of step up from a production standpoint offensively, and he's kind of teetering off there. So the Rook has to be able to find his footing again. He's doing a little struggling right now, and you can see Queen's numbers and Fears, the rookies, and we expect this to happen with our rookie players, right? The season is long. You know, them coming out of college and then going to the pros, it's a long grinding season, and besides, you know, you got 2 of the rookies starting real minutes, man. That can be daunting, but these guys have to continue to navigate those waters, man, and I think they will get better. Off the bench, Jordan Poole, 26 minutes, 26 points, a point a minute. He was 6 of 14 from the field. He was 4 of 10 from downtown, and he was perfect, 10 of 10 from the foul line, 3 rebounds and 2 assists for Jordan Poole. He had 26. And then after that, when you talk about other players, not even close. Yves Missi was 3 points with 6 boards. You had Micah Peavy. He had 14 minutes with 6 points. He only shot 2 of 4 from the field, 1 of 2 from downtown. Jordan Hawkins got in the game with 14 minutes. He had 7 attempts, 2 of 7, 1 of 4 from downtown. He finished with 5 points. Pelicans just could not muster up enough production off the bench. Jordan Poole's only 26 points. And it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. 118. And plus you had, you know, several defensive breakdowns with the Pelicans. But in the end, man, look at what the Bulls did. They had multiple all the starters were in double digits, and they had 3 guys off the bench that were too. So they were more of a team plan right here, right? They played more as a team. And like I said, credit to the Bulls, man, because that closes the regular season series. The Pelicans win it 2-1, but they had the courage to say, hey, man, we ain't gonna let this team sweep us on a year. We got to do something about this. And they did do something about it. They had several guys step up. Isaac Okoro, he had 24 points in the game in 36 minutes. You've seen 20 from Trey Jones, who stepped in to help out there, handling and shooting the rock, and he was perfect from the field doing his thing. You had 17 from Vujasev. You had 19 from Buzelis. 14 from Jalen Smith off the bench, but Jalen Smith came in and had 14 points and 14 boards. Vujasev had 17 and 8 and 5. Then you had guys like Pat Williams off the bench, 20 minutes, 12 points. 13 from Kevin Huerter. He shot 4 of 9 from the field. He had a couple of 3-pointers there as well. and Dusamo had 25 minutes, 12 points. So, like I said, and it talked about being without Kobe White, being without Giddey, but that did not stop them from putting 134 points up on the Pelicans and stealing away a win at home. So it drives the Pelicans to a point where, hey, man, we got to do something, man. And what's the next thing we got to do? Well, the next thing you got to do, you got to come back home, lick your wounds, and get ready for a Portland Trailblazer team. That's next up for the Pelicans, right? That's next up. We got to some kind of way figure out how we're going to get a win against the Portland Trailblazer team and stop the bleeding. Now, this will be a 7 p.m. tip-off time in the Smoothie King Center. The Trailblazers are 14-20. 8-27 is the Pelicans coming into this game. The Pelicans plays. They're looking to end that streak. The Pelicans are 4-21 against conference opponents. That's not good. New Orleans has a 4-12 record in games decided by 10 points or less. Did you know that? These are some of the stats that and the information I kind of dug up for the family members so they can understand, man, this ain't good, no matter how you slice it. The Pelicans have problems, man. We got some problems here, and we need to get this stuff fixed as fast as we could, man. We really do. But anyway, bottom line is, these are some of the things. So the Pelicans shooting 46% from the field this season, 1.6% points lower than the 47.7 the Trailblazers allowed their opponents. Pelicans average 116.2 points per game, 6.9 fewer points than the 123.1 the Pelicans allowed to their opponents. Now the teams meet for the third time this season. The Pelicans have won the previous matchup 143-120 in the last one on December the 12th. And then, of course, this is some of the things we have to look for as some of the top performers. Sadiq Bey averaging over 15 points and 6 rebounds for the Pelicans. Zion at 31 and 7 over the last 10 games. So those are two of our really good players. Now, Denny Avdija is averaging over 25.7 rebounds and 7 assists for the Trailblazers. And Kosoko is averaging 19 points over the last 10 games. So there's a lot of good playing happening. Now, over the last 10 games for our Pelicans, they're 5-5. They're averaging 122 points a game. Their rebounds are about 47 rebounds. Let's say about 47 rebounds, 47.1 rebounds, 25.3 on the assists, almost 9 steals, just over 5 blocks per game while shooting 47% from the field. The opponents have an average of 122 points per game. And the Blazers over the last 10 games of 5-5, they're averaging 113 a game, over 44 rebounds, over 25.5 assists, over 7.5 steals, 4.3 on the blocks while shooting almost 46% from the field, and their opponents average 119.3. So we should get an indication of what happened with Herb Jones. Herb Jones is listed as day-to-day. We'll see where he is. Scoot Anderson is dealing with a hamstring issue as well. Drew Holiday is listed as day-to-day. Jeremy Grant is day-to-day with that Achilles, and he's supposed to be ready for this game against the Pelicans. So that's another thing to kind of look at as well, because some of these guys come back for the Pels, is always the case. So that's something we have to look at, man. And this is one of these situations where, man, we got to get the W against this team. For real, man. We got to get a W against this team. Jeremy Grant is like I said, due to come back. And look at this designation right here, family. What we see right here about the Pelicans with Herb Jones. He's day-to-day. So Herb getting close to coming back, dealing with the ankle issue. And look at DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray estimated date is no longer January the 2nd. It has been pushed out to January the 13th. There's no reason why or however, but they have that estimated return date has been pushed out for another week or so. And we won't be hearing, we should hear something about what's going on with DeJounte Murray sometimes in the next 7 days. We should get an alert from DeJounte Murray because it's right around the time frame where you'll hear him ramping up for getting back to practice and all this kind of stuff. So we'll be looking for that in the upcoming week. Like I said, look at it. The Pelicans have lost 5 games in a row. You see the Trailblazers over the last 5 games are 2-3 with wins over Dallas and Boston, and a loss to OKC last night as well. So it is what it is. The Trailblazers trying to get on the plus side of this thing. Right now the season series is tied between them. We play this team Friday, and then we play them again in April. So we have an opportunity. But right now the series is 1-1. Can the Pelicans, man? The Pelicans need a win. We need to get a win against this team. We need to shake this stuff loose and get another W. Here is the Trailblazers depth chart for the family members to take a look at. You see, we talked about Danny Avdija, and you got Shadian Sharp right there, Toumani Camara, kind of a two-way player that plays defense, a long wing that is athletic, who finishes at the rim, can shoot the three. Jeremy Grant's supposed to be coming back. Klingen is also there. Chris Murray, Sidi Kosoko has really been balling for them, and Drew Holiday is listed as out. I don't know when Drew's supposed to be coming back here. He's still listed as out. But they're saying this was 14. Wow, this is an update as close, like really 14 minutes ago. Wow. It's saying that he's been cleared for progression on-court activities, according to Rip City Radio 620. So just as of 14 minutes ago, they said they've cleared Drew Holiday to come back. So for activities. Now, what does that mean? That he'll play in the game against the Pelicans? I don't know. But we'll see, man. But y'all know how he is. We just seem to be medicine for everybody else, but not for ourselves, man. So we'll see how all this stuff goes moving forward, man. So another loss by the Pelicans in terms of his 5 straight losses. It is no doubt about it, man. They're going to have to seek in. It's in the Smoothie King Center. They're going to have to level up and get this win against this team. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We have to win this game. However they choose to, they're going to have to lock in. And all of the fancy jargon about having to rebound, improve the communication on offense and defense, in clutch moments of the game, have higher basketball IQ, understanding who the closers are, not taking random dumb shots, but passing the ball, circulating the ball for a cleaner shot. All this kind of stuff that we were supposed to get before the end of the year is really redundant for me to keep saying that, because that's part of what we've been saying, which is basketball fundamental stuff that the Pelicans are really not good at. They have improved shooting the free throw. That is encouraging to see them doing that. But in terms of getting more offensive rebounds, they went double digit last night. That needs to be the trend. That has to be the mindset. Better defensive communication has to be the fulcrum. But outside of that, man, they're just going to have to be gritty about it. They're going to have to go out there as a team. We get Jose Alvarado back too, to be honest with you, because to a degree, we were missing Jose Alvarado's, his leadership there, and getting Jose back for this game after he was out for 2 game suspension from punching on old boy. I just think that helps us, right? It helps us kind of steady our lineup, but perhaps getting not only just Jose, but in her back could be enough to kind of solidify our lineup, because that will make us like the healthiest we've been all season long, outside of getting DeJounte Murray back or getting an update on him, right? We'll be the healthiest we've been when we get Herb back. So Herb is a game time decision. We'll see what goes on with him. But he's getting close. He's getting close to coming back, and having Herb Jones in the lineup, having Jose Alvarado in the lineup helps the Pelicans, because we're going to need that toughness and that gritty mentality to be able to take possession of this game and stop this 5-game losing streak that we're currently under. It's a new year, and the Pelicans need to behave like it. It's a new year, and they need to have a resolution of winning and not having all this silly losing that we've been seeing, man. That's just disgusting and fateful. So with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all today. Y'all do me a service. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Big Q on the road. Much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all for being in the stream. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're listening via X, hit the share button, man. We'll be back on this channel, man, to recap the Pelicans victory. Hopefully a victory. We getting everybody back. It should be a victory against the Portland Trailblazers. It's going to be gritty, but man, listen, that's what it's going to take to get back in this thing. I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one. Much love. Peace.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network. For all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelicans, fly Pelicans, fly Pelicans. And I tell them that. Fly down, Pelicans forever. Pelicans, yeah. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come into town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumpin' where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know the flyer that you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You can double, you can press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican.
Hey, New Orleans! Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with the whodatdaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit the WhoDatDaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation. Stay in the NO, you stay in the know.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic, NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or